You're on
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj padł dziesnej smutek, dodnielo i rano utek, jakiś małżeński majstrat, do wczera żylne staje prach. Už sej mojí svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jich kůži. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požerem si huby jako poslední den. Buďme se mámy a do rána stávy a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem. Tak posaď se sem a vypal jeden. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zejtra jen tu soudnej den. Tak nalej mi hned a točí se svět. Dneska vůbec nikdo neví, zase zítra Ježíši a není to naposled. Přišla bída mora hlad, to neustojí žádnej chlap. Na kraj padnul děsnej smutek, dodnělo i ráno utek, dětiž małżeńský majstrat, do včera žil, dneska je prach. Už sej mojí svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejt v jejich kůži. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požerem si huby jako poslední den. Buďme se mámy a do rána stávy a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem. Tak posaď se sem a vypal jeden. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zejtra jen tu soudnej den. Tak nalej mi hned a točí se svět. Ty dneska vůbec nikdo neví, zase zítra Ježíši a není to naposled.
Should be able to hear me now. So, as I was saying, welcome to my Monday event. I was lucky enough to have this day off just because of a Canadian specific holiday. It's the day for Truth and Reconciliation, and that's to do with residential schools and all sorts of injustices the Canadian government committed against Indigenous people. So that means we don't have university, and oftentimes school is canceled. And so I have today off, and I decided to take this opportunity to host a tournament. I haven't even posted a video in a while, let alone a tournament, so apologies for that. That's just because I've been extremely busy. Not much can be done about that, and unfortunately, it's going to get even worse once I'm doing the practicums and stuff, but at least I have time to sort of hang around on the server and stuff, and I'll see about posting some new content as well at some point, but for now, let's get started with the tournament. I remember Luck and Info said they'll be late, so we'll skip their fights. We'll come back to them as needed. But right now I'm fighting Peka, so we'll start with that. And while we're waiting for Peka, I'll also join commentators. I'll just name it Tourney. There we go. Elevator music's done. And everything should be working. You should be able to hear me on Discord too if you happen to be playing. Obviously, the action is happening on YouTube though, so if you actually want to see what's going on, you're going to want to watch on YouTube. That's just for people who are fighting and don't want the extra bandwidth. And also playing the stream in the background. I mean, if you're fighting at the time, it's going to be a bit delayed, so it's not ideal if you are fighting. Five minutes in a call? Yeah, we can skip your fight. That's fine. Let's see if Ezekiel and Oak are here then. That's not a problem. No, 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 it's fine. There were other people who said they were going to be late, so. And also, your call is probably more important than this tournament, so. Although it might not be as enjoyable. So let's get Ezekiel and Oak in here. Yes, we're doing a round robin. We have 8 people, so it'll be a little bit long, my round robin standards, but you know how my events go. We'll run through them as quickly as we can. If people take their time joining, we'll skip the fights and come back to them. And it looks like we'll be skipping quite a few fights to start out, but that's okay. That's just because some people need some time before they can show up. They told me in advance, so hopefully Oak is here, in which case we can get started, but if not, I guess I could do my fight against Ezekiel way over here. The order doesn't really matter that much. Or we could see if there's another matchup that can be done, but I think that'll be the only matchup we can do. And, you know, Ezekiel's here already, so that makes sense. I'll give Oak like another 30 seconds or so, and we'll come back if we need to. I just don't want to waste too much time waiting. I guess while we're waiting, we can also set up the interface, because I didn't bother to do that before we started. I was more focused on making sure we had the music in order, the intro music, to be honest, but that's okay. Let's turn this on. Obviously, it's not a Thursday event. We'll just call it a Monday tourney. And I figure Oak is not going to show up right away either. I'm going to check, though. Luck is here. Excellent. We'll do my fight against Ezekiel since he's right here, which is all the way over here, I know, but that's just how it is. But then we'll see about getting you to fight Luck. Maybe Justvanish, because Justvanish might be here. But for now, we'll do me versus Ezekiel. Yeah, good to hear that you're available though. As for the sides, I am on the left, Ezekiel will be on the right. Alright. Good to know that you're here, though, Luck. We'll get you in ASAP after this. Oh, yes, let me just check the flags, because I changed it. I changed it for, what is it, the dojo. So, yeah, we wanted it at 7. Remember, if round robins, you only get one shot, one round, so to speak. But you obviously fight everybody, so even if you lose, still gonna be in the event. And play for points, not just wins. Obviously, if you win everything, then you win. But if you can't, at that point, you gotta fight for points. So even if you feel as though you're losing, you gotta give it your all. And I'm actually going Bar, which might surprise some people, but I've found him really fun to play lately. So I don't feel like using Alex this tournament, but we'll see what happens. And I think I got the slow-mo issue fixed. We had some kind of slow-mo issue last time, but yeah, we'll see. The game's been kind of messed up lately. Just in all sorts of ways. So far, so good, though. Oh, Ezekiel having some lag? Possibly? You good? Alright, I guess he's good. He's moving and cutting at me, so I have to assume he's good. Alright, GG, Ezekiel. That went better than I expected. What I will say is Samuel is definitely a harder nut to crack if you're playing Barabash versus if you're playing Alexander. So I tried to play as tight as possible and not overcomplicate it too much. I like to sidestep more, but unfortunately, you can only like sidestep in short bursts with the way the game is right now. When I say sidestep, I mean side dashing, I should say, not moving to the side. That's a little bit different, but yeah, GG Ezekiel. Okay, let's get luck in here against Justvanish, who is a newer member of the community. I haven't seen much from Justvanish, so I can't really comment. Oh yes, Oak is around too, but let's do luck versus Justvanish because I said that was what we were gonna do. Looks like he has the roll, so that's good as well. A bit of a slow start, but that's okay. I kind of anticipated this. And I'll say after this fight, because we know Ezekiel is here, we'll have you fight him, Oak. And Peka should be in here pretty quick, so we'll do that fight as well. We're kind of going back and doing these fights, but that's okay. I think that's just Vanish who's joining us, because I don't recognize the name. Which is perfect. Alright. I'm just doing the names now. Let me double check that the sides were correct. Yes, they are. Alright. For those who don't know, the name on top is the one who goes left. That's usually how I do these. And it gets randomized as you go, so you'll play on all sides no matter what. Yeah, so Justvanish actually plays Marina. I remember that from USFC now, so that'll be interesting to see. Luck going with Isabella. He's played Isabella quite a lot lately, and he's very good Isabella at that, so he definitely knows what he's doing here. And I think he's fought this exact matchup before too, so he has some tricks. Justvanish throwing some cuts. Luck really trying to test that guard, but he ends up hitting the shield, and Justvanish is able to wrap around with that sword. Alright, Luck going for sidestep, snap cut. That's a very good move of Isabella. Very good sequence. And then high guard actually proves very effective as well at threatening Justvanish there. Vanish going for the sidestep, but gets stabbed immediately. Perfect read there by Luck. Longsword definitely has a lot of tools against the sword and shield. Although, as I say that, Justvanish rushes in with that dash attack, which still proves effective. I think Luck was moving into it. It's also a good can opener move, if you want to call it that. Yeah, up close, Isabella actually doesn't do too bad. So, yeah, what Marina's looking for is to use that shield to get the sword offline and then land a hit of her own, preferably to the head, because her damage is not the best. Luck goes in for the push, but Justvanish with the punch and cutting the arm. Now Luck is tired, so some attacks might be slipping through the auto guard if he's not careful. But he can't be impatient either. Luck has done a good job of sort of taming his aggression lately. He's always been known for being aggressive, and that's not a bad thing in and of itself. We actually saw it a bit just now. But I think he's tamed it now. He's much more patient when he needs to be. He's willing to defend himself. But he will saturate you with attacks if he feels it's advantageous, and he's much better at reading when that is the case now. And he's proving that even against Marina with that shield. And there's a good hit to the leg that probably saved him, because now Vanish is limping, and then Luck gets a nice high guard cut. There's a push, yep, and then the snap cut. It's over. Justvanish loses 7-3, but good effort from Justvanish. Obviously needs some more experience, but he did put on a nice performance in the USFC, so definitely don't want to underestimate him. Okay, Ezekiel against Oak now. Because I assume Oak is ready. And also, it's not a big deal, Oak. We were waiting for other people anyway. So we expected complications going in. So Ezekiel, you are indeed fighting again. Hopefully you'll get some points. Even a win. A win would be... I think Ezekiel is definitely going to be looking for a win here. And to win by a large margin, that's really his best bet. Because having lost 7-0 in this format, it's pretty rough. I mean, losing is rough if we do wins anyway. Like if we measure points by just wins. So losing is always a problem in this format. But the idea is you can at least score some points, and then that gives you a better chance in the long run. Oak is here. Oak is a fierce opponent, so Ezekiel has his work cut out for him. But he plays, I think, a good character to try and counter Laszlo, so we'll see how that plays out. I don't think Samuel is stronger than Laszlo necessarily. I think as far as character balance, they're actually very close, but I think Samuel has the speed to at least keep up with him a bit, and he has the guard to fend off those high damage cuts from Laszlo. So But Laszlo definitely has the power advantage, which is a pretty big advantage as well. It's not like Laszlo is slow either. So, with all the changes, Laszlo can definitely win. There's no question, especially in the hands of Oak. If you make one little mistake against Oak, you're in trouble, but Samuel is a very solid pick if Ezekiel wants to go with that, I think. And they're both in, so that's perfect. And Ezekiel, you'll take the left this time. Oak will take the right. Ezekiel on the left, Oak on the right. Yeah, we're going to see Laszlo against whoever Ezekiel picks. I assume it'll be Samuel. Yeah. Not surprised at all. This is always an interesting fight regardless. I do think Sam has the tools to defeat Laszlo, but it's by no means a done deal here. A lot of the sabers are pretty closely balanced lately. Okay, is Ezekiel having some problems? Looks like Oak is ready to go, which is good that they're both not lagging. It's just one of them is lagging. All right, I'll unpause. Just long guard if you're ready, Ezekiel. Yeah, might have just been a lag spike on his end, which happens, but I'm glad they're both ready to go. At least it happened at the start too. It didn't happen at some point in the middle. And Oak goes for a cut, but Ezekiel managing to hit the head stops him right in his tracks. And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about with Samuel. I think Samuel has a very solid defense to potentially, anyway, deal with Laszlo. And I think those leg cuts might prove pretty effective, actually. Oh. Okay, he's still ready to go. It looked a little strange, but he wasn't moving. He's good now. They've both been wounded. A little bit of a messy engagement. There, he goes for a thrust. There's the retreat Y from Oak. A bit of a panic. Then he goes for a bunch of cuts. I guess Ezekiel he's been trying to play really defensive lately, so I think that's what he's going for here. He's trying to keep his guard solid, but he overextends. He gets his hand cut off. He's really trying to take advantage of Samuel's guard here, which is good. But sometimes you lose initiative in doing so, and that can put you in a bad spot. Yeah, some people obviously think defense is better than offense, but the reality is they're both about equally as good. There's a time and a place for both. And Ezekiel there, now he's showing some initiative, and now he's seeing some success. Not that playing defensively is wrong, it's just you have to at some point initiate as well. And Ezekiel is showing the strength of that. I think that was his problem against me. He was sort of letting me dictate the engagement. And so I was always able to catch him eventually. Goes for the thrust. I think the thrust is actually pretty risky. Laszlo looks quite open, but Oak seems to know how to defend against it. I'd honestly stick with the higher power cuts for Samuel. Not the ones that are really slow, but the ones that are sort of somewhere between the snap cuts and the massive cuts. Throw some snap cuts in between, of course, as needed. And then some of those leg cuts can be good, but the problem is if you're not defending your head, it can give Laszlo an opportunity to close in. So far the fight's been rather even. Both of these swordsmen, the characters that is, are inspired by Hungarian swordsmanship, so it's really cool to see them interact. Samuel obviously displaying a much later style compared to Laszlo. I think Sam has a bit of Polish Saber in him too, although it's hard to say because Polish Saber itself is, by its nature, frogsy innate. There's no sources for it that really survive, except for a few descriptions and stuff. But we have an idea of what it might have looked like at least, so there is that. And there are people who practice it. Okay, Oak went for a cut, and then they pause. Everything good? Okay. And there's a strike from Ezekiel. And he's doing really well this time around. He's trying to play a really solid game. Oak trying to punish his mistakes. Definitely more on the offense in Oak's case. Another pause. I don't know if Ezekiel is lagging or what, but he's moving now. Ezekiel, just long guard next time that happens when you're ready, just to be sure. That way Oak knows for sure you're ready. Yeah. Okay, nice exchange here. Oak doesn't want to throw away this lead, of course. And Oak barely managing to reach the arm, and he wins that trade. That's what I was talking about with Laszlo. Laszlo obviously having the advantage with damage across the board. Oak there trying to use the retreat Y, but gets punished. That was really beautiful from Ezekiel. Oh, that was really strange. Is somebody lagging? Good thing nobody grabbed, because that was like a perfect opportunity to grab. So Oak looks like he's ready. He's moving. Ezekiel is not moving. That was really strange though. That I guess Ezekiel was moving forward a lot and he couldn't recover. Might have froze for him. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but good sportsmanship either way from Oak. And Oak ends up getting hit in the hand, so this will be huge for Ezekiel. If he can at least win this now, he'll have the max number of points. It wasn't at a points deficit though, so unfortunately for him, Oak is gonna get plenty of flags out of this no matter what happens, but Ezekiel has fought really well himself, and he forced a double actually, which I'm surprised by. It looked like only a slight hit on his part, but I do see the cut that he was inputting, so there's no question he was attacking. Oak with a cancel trying to provoke, but he gets tagged in the middle of another cancel. Ezekiel calling him out, and Ezekiel actually wins it, so very good job to Ezekiel. After struggling at first in his first fight, he manages to win just barely. But going forward, he's definitely going to be looking to win by a point deficit if he can. Yeah, Ezekiel is lagging? Okay, I see. Okay, let's see if Peka is here. And I think we'll do that fight next. Excellent, he's here. I think that makes the most sense. We'll be back in order. Info will be here, and then we can have Info fight Rodri. Info at that point, don't leave, because you'll be fighting Luck. So just be aware of that. Peka is here. We got him keyboard. Peka, you'll be on the left. It'll be interesting to see if he goes Zara or Tarnovsky or whoever. I'm just going to stick with who I've been using. Yeah, there's actually a lot of interesting characters Peka can try here. Samuel, he might have been inspired a little bit by what I was saying earlier about Samuel being a tough nut to crack, but we'll see. Good luck, Peka. Ah, nice Pekla. Lost that pretty badly there, 7-3. Yeah, showing initiative of Samuel seems to be a very good idea. All right, let's see Roderick versus Info. And that'll conclude our first round. It's Sam time. Yeah, yeah, a lot of Samuels. I like it. Samuel is sometimes a little bit underused. Sometimes, anyway. It depends on the tournament. All right, Info is here waiting for Roderick. And don't go away, Info. Because after this fight, you'll be fighting Luck. And then Pekla, you'll fight Vanish. Oak will fight Roderick after that. And at that point, actually, Oak will want to stay in because you'll be fighting Luck. Okay, they're both in. Info, you will be on the right there. And Roderick will be on the left. Got a cover for Ezekiel. Can't have Sam being beaten by Barra like that. Fair enough. I see what happened. Okay, whoa, Zara from Info. That's a very surprising pick right there. And there's a double to start us off. Nice exchange. Roderick trying to get an offense going. Info trying to stay solid but goes for a cut. And Roderick immediately sidesteps, which is probably a good idea in this matchup. Info trying to use a meta character now to hopefully do better going forward. Marie is just really weak, so it can be difficult to use her against anybody pretty much. There's the holy stance. Not much comes of it. Retreat Y. Info playing a very counter-attack centered Zera there. Big cut, but yeah, the recovery screws her over. And Roderick taking another flag. We'll see what Info does next. I don't know how much experience she has with Zera. There's a nice hit, though, actually, from Info. A slight hit, but then getting too close. And Roderick immediately capitalizes. Roderick is very experienced with Gideon, so he knows what he's doing here. Roderick sort of taking his time. They both trade hits, actually. That could have been very bad for Roderick. And he takes the hand off, and the sword is deleted as a result, resulting in a double. Crazy double right there. Roderick always seems poised to punish Info whenever Info makes a mistake. That's very good for Gideon. Now they're both they're shuffling a little bit, but then Info rushes in, immediately getting punished for doing so. Maybe going for a grab. It's difficult to say, because Info didn't lead with a cut, so hard to say what her plan was there. But rushing with Zera can absolutely work, but you gotta be very careful how you do it. Yeah, Zera's arm was just messed up, wasn't it? It was like twisted and mangled, the stump that is, as his hand was taken off. I've seen that for a lot of characters lately when the hand comes off. There's a little taunt there from Info, which we don't see often, but it allowed her to get a cut in. And now Roderick's gonna have to play this a little bit carefully. Big cut from Info, but way too close. Doesn't hit with the proper part of the longsword as a result of the distance, and then Roderick takes it. Yeah, Zera's momentum is quite different from the other characters, so Peka brings up a really good point there. So we'll see what Info tries to do against Luck. Don't go away, Info. Luck obviously not afraid to play Isabella or Jan or Barabash. I think he prefers Barabash a lot more now, actually, but from what he's been saying, but alright, Luck is here. And Info, you will take the left side, Luck will take the right. Info goes with Marie, which is a brave pick, but to be honest, Marie is her main, so it might actually be better regardless of how strong Isabella might be relative to Marie, but we'll see. Yendrik would have been a great choice, I think, yeah, because we know Info's used Yendrik. Rodri says, who says I wasn't when a Titan asked what if Gideon was drunk too? Yeah, it's quite possible he was drunk. Some players play better drunk too, so. And honestly, Gideon is a pretty heavy drinker himself, from what we've seen. Complicated match, yeah, definitely. Good defense there by Info, but not able to capitalize. And overextends there, gets too close. Allowing Luck to get a strike in. Info going for low thrust there, but Luck expertly beating it, and then a stab. Yendrik against Isabella will be more balanced. Yeah, I think the two-handed axe would stand up better to the longsword for sure. Maybe Info will switch that up, though, in a coming fight. We'll see. Luck just keeps going on the offensive, and Info, I think, was going to throw a thrust, and she again let Luck get a bit too close, and therefore her arm is hit. This is shaping up to be a devastating loss for Info unless she can come up with something. Goes for a grab, gets punished, and Luck just needs one more. Luck throwing some preemptive cuts to catch Info. There's a high guard cut, defends the cut from Info. Nice exchange. Info on the retreat there and gets a nice stab to the arm. That's what Info needs to do. Info needs to keep that distance and use the reach of her weapon. It's the only way you're going to win this matchup. Of course, the trouble is the longsword is not really lacking in reach. It's just lacking in reach relative to the rapier a little bit, so it can be easier said than done to keep Luck at bay here in this matchup. Tries to lean under and go for a stab, but it was very close, and unfortunately it doesn't land. But there's a grab for Info as Luck gets a little bit aggressive. There's a stab from Info. Nice comeback potentially coming in here. Yeah, the high guard can be a bit risky, but I think it is one of Isabella's meta moves for sure. Yodan, for those who don't know, I think that refers to the high guard in Kenjutsu, so think of that as high guard. That's what he means by Yodan. 7-3. The thing about high guard too is it actually can amplify your defense by threatening an attack, ironically. So it's like you can't auto guard, but your attack is going to be so devastating if it lands that it can have defensive and offensive value in its own right. Alright, Vanish against Pekka now. Pekka got a solid lead earlier, so he's looking to capitalize on that and get a good win here, I'm sure. Excellent. Vanish is joining. Pekka hopefully will join soon. Yeah, it is risky in the sense that you're basically abandoning your auto guard, so you're not going to be able to block anything aside from obviously the cut that you're using. Maybe the cut will interrupt something, but yeah. But it is definitely a good move for her, there's no question. Alright, we'll give Pekka a little bit longer. I know it looks like I'm impatient, but that's just for the sake of the tourney running smoothly. We will come back to the fight if Pekka doesn't show up right away. That's not a problem. Misclicked Zera and went with it? Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, I didn't think you were very experienced with Zera, so. Okay, looks like Pekka is not showing up right away, so sorry, Vanish, we'll come back to you. Let's do Oak against Rodri. This one will be a pretty intense one. Two Saber Masters. And we'll see if Pekka joins soon after, in which case we might do that fight after this one. We'll see. But otherwise, Oak will be fighting multiple times. And then Roderick will fight me. Some spicy philosophy discussion going on. Religious stuff, which I'm not particularly interested in, but anyway. Okay, Oak is here. Okay, Oak is here for sure, but I don't see Roderick joining. Maybe he's busy, in which case, Luck, we can let you in. Uh, oh, okay, Luck's trying to join, but Roderick is here, so let's do Roderick first. We'll let you in soon after Luck, don't worry. Oh, Parsec did something strange there, but it's still working. I might have to share a new link, let me know if I do. Alright, I'll do it. Looks like it's a new link, so go ahead and click that one. Okay, Roderick's joining, good. Okay, and let's look at the sides. Oak will take the left, Roderick will be on the right. Oak's in, Roderick's in. Excellent. Laszlo against Gideon. This is a very bloody matchup. No matter how it goes. They're both very exposed to each other, I would say. Nice cut to the head from Oak. Getting his first kill. Goes for an upcut. Keeping his distance, trying to provoke a mistake. And Roderick actually dashes, which opens himself up to another cut. Oak taking this one as well. Rushes in, but Oak immediately punishes that dash. And that's what Oak is very good at. He's a very precise player. You make the slightest mistake, suddenly Oak is on your case. Someone alt-tabbed? It looks like. Alright, let's see if you guys are good to go. Oak is good to go. Is Roderick good to go? I'm not sure if Laszlo necessarily has the edge, but he definitely has faster linear footwork. I've definitely seen Gideon do well in this matchup too, so. But Oak is a very good player, and Laszlo obviously does have some advantages, so. Roderick has his work cut out for him, and you can see as soon as he cancels, or as soon as he does a dash, Oak is immediately hitting him. Roderick just cannot afford to make the slightest mistake, and we might see another 7-0 victory, which wouldn't be the first one we've seen. Oh, and there's the retreat Y, which forces a double as Roderick just marches forward with a cut of his own, trying to tag Oak. Big cut from Roderick, then a little bit of a taunt there. Oak doing that new combo, then dashes in and slashes the belly open, and it's a 7-0 victory for Oak. And Luck, you may join now, because it looks like, hang on. Okay, Peka is back, but since we got Oak in here, let's just get Luck in here, and we'll come back. It just makes more sense, I think. Alright, excellent. Luck will take the left, Oak will take the right. Alright, let's see if you guys can just... Yeah, okay, excellent. So you guys can just select from there. As long as nothing's been disrupted by me switching the names. Oak is a punishing player. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Spacing. Speaking of spacing, though, Luck is able to get a quick hit. High guard cut to the leg, actually, not to the head or anything, but to that exposed leg. Which seems like a really good target to aim for when you're fighting Laszlo. And Luck is throwing a lot of these high guard cuts, which can be very dangerous, and there's a double. Yeah, there's a lot of weird input issues with this game lately, so... Although, involuntary dash inputs can happen even if the game's working perfectly, so... Definitely unfortunate no matter what. And that's the thing, you make the slightest mistake and then Oak is just on your case. But I say that, he's getting gutted by Luck here. Nice stab. Lux Isabella is quite the menace. There's a high guard cut to the arm. Yeah, the linger of high guard definitely does need nerfing, but otherwise I think it's fine. I feel like the linger's not intended. Swings from Oak, they don't land. Oak is really struggling with this reach disadvantage that his character has. And Luck is actually the one punishing his mistakes. And there's a cut and a stab. That push might look strange, but what Luck is doing is he's using that push to switch legs, which is something you can do with Isabella. Cut from Oak, trying to snipe the hand, but just isn't able to land one. Moves in, goes for the Vineyard. But Luck stays solid, using the reach of his weapon to his advantage. High guard cut again, barely misses. Oak trying to keep his distance there, and there's a double. Luck with another push to switch legs. There, he cancels the thrust, which was probably the right move, because Oak was going to call him out there, and there's a nice hit to the head from Oak. Oak is not going to give up. High guard cut, doesn't hit the hand. There's an upcut from Oak. Okay, a possible leg spike. Thrust there, and then there's a cut, punishing the 1-2 combo from Oak. 7-3 for Luck. Luck of a nice victory. Alright, let's get Vanish and Peka in here next. Okay, Vanish is here. Let's wait for Peka. Peka had another call, by the way. That's what the problem was, for anyone who's unaware. Obviously, he's busy right now trying to juggle his work with the tournament. Which is totally fair. Okay, hopefully he's back, or he didn't have another call. It's been a little bit since he sent that message, so it's possible. Alright, he's here. Excellent. Okay, Vanish on the left, Peka on the right. Didn't mean to press that. Let's do English, please. I know the translations for the other languages are bad anyway, so there's no point in using anything except English. And I guess Polish, if Polish is an option in this game. Obviously, that would be very good, because Kubold is Polish. I assume, anyway, it would be good, but... Some of the languages use, like AI or something, and as we know, AI is not the most reliable translating tool, so sometimes that doesn't end very well. But it's just a placeholder. Anyway, Peka at the first point. Justvanish having switched to Isabella, probably inspired by Isabella's really good performance earlier. Nice exchange there. Justvanish managing to take the hand right off of a nice retreat cut. exchanges. And a sidestep from Peka. Looks like he was a bit too close for that first cut. Good exchange. High guard cut. Managing to kill Samuel there. But Peka calls it out this time, and that's what we were talking about earlier about high guard being a little bit risky. It can disable your guard and allow an opponent to simply strike you if you're not careful. Going with low guard, then a stab Peka, but doesn't land. Bit of shuffling from Peka, then a stab, moves back. Really trying to test Vanish's guard here. Going for a bunch of cuts. Vanish trying to stay solid on the defensive here. Tries to dip under. And eventually a cut from above. So going low then high, which is a very good way of getting around the guard. Peka getting his point. Threatening high guard there. Blocks the stab though. Another stab. And cancels the high guard cut. Nice from Peka. Going for a stab but backs away. Really nice exchanges. Oh, but the dash is very risky, especially in this matchup. Not a move that I would use here. And Justvanish going with low guard. That was a trap, though. He went for a stab. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite land. Peka was ready. And now Peka is threatening some low guard, some various attacks here. And feints. Another feint. Nice exchange. No fighter has been hit yet. Good cancel in the block by Peka. Then a sidestep to stop the dash. And then Vanish loses the fight 7-3. Another 7-3 win. Now we got Rodri against me. Hopefully you guys aren't hearing the shenanigans going on outside, just some construction and stuff. My headset's pretty good at filtering out background noise, so it's very possible you're not hearing a thing, but yeah, my mic has noise filtering. Just figured I would make sure. Yeah, it's definitely loud and clear for me, but I'm glad you guys aren't hearing any of that. Anyway, Rodri on the left, I'm on the right. Let me just make sure, yeah, Rodri's got keyboard. Otherwise people hear all about trade secrets. Yeah, that wouldn't be good at all, would it? Sam is nice, yeah, he's very good. Alright, I'm gonna stick with bar though, we'll see what I can do. Bro, you can cancel a Thunder Punch. That's crazy. I feel like it's still high risk, so I won't do that. Ooh, GG. Very sharp game, and also very good comeback attempts. He got the sauce. Yeah, he can feint everything. Yeah. Yeah, the Thunder Punch was crazy though, that discovery. I was only Thunder Punching because I saw he was tired, but then I discovered he was not as tired as I thought, and then I managed to cancel it, so. Anyway, good fight, Roderick. Now we got Peka against Ezekiel, which will be exciting, because they're both using the same character. We'll definitely see a proper mirror match. Okay, Peka is here. Just gave you keyboard. Now we're gonna wait for, yeah, there we go. Ezekiel is here. Right on cue. What happened to Parsec? Yeah, Parsec's acting strange lately. It seems to have still remained open though, so that's good. Everybody's still here. Peka on the left, Ezekiel on the right. Thankfully, the technical problems I get with Parsec tend to be just visual. So. I think Yazzet's not quite as strong as he used to be, and I think that's why Luck doesn't really use him as much. Now we got Samuel by both, and actually the same skin too, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't mind mirrored skins. I know some hosts prefer it if you use a different skin, but I don't care. Use the skin that you prefer. Oh my goodness. Just back and forth. Samuel's guard recovery is still really fast. But Pekla getting a nice sidestep. There's a nice beat from Ezekiel, sidestep attempt. Now they're both fighting very linearly in this exchange. Ezekiel trying to get a sidestep as I say that, but doesn't work. Pekla going for... Wow, I thought he was going to get punished there. That was going to be nasty if he was just literally a millimeter closer. There's a double. Pekla Samuel is very dangerous, so Ezekiel is going to have to be careful. A bunch of canceling there by Pekla, it looks like. Or the guard was being wonky, one of those two things. Ezekiel eventually able to get a kill. A stab, Pekla trying to dip under and hit the hand, but doesn't quite work. Then he dips under and hits the body, and then the arm with that same cut. Pekla is doing a better job of finding angles, I think. Although Ezekiel definitely is trying. Pekla lunges forward, doesn't quite get a hit. Again lunges forward, there's a nice trade, which, yeah, it favored Ezekiel there. Pekla long guard, but he actually went for an upcut, which is something you don't see often. Probably canceled long guard into the upcut, or there's some kind of move I'm not aware of. However, this time Pekla's hand protection is able to stop Ezekiel's attack and lock the blade in place, allowing Pekla to get a clean hit. Ezekiel trying to break up the tempo, but Pekla does the exact same move later and gets a hit to the leg. Pekla making better use of Samuel's tools overall, I think. But Ezekiel is not going to go down without a fight. There is a leg void as a result of a cancel, which is very bizarre. It's an issue every character has, but it's not a Samuel-only thing. And nice leg void. Ezekiel obviously looking to play solid here. Get as many flags as he can. Goes for a stab. Unfortunately, again, he overextends in doing so, and Pekla punishes him. 7-3 victory again for Pekla. Okay, now we got Vanish against Info. Okay, Info is here. Just waiting for Vanish. Excellent. Vanish is here. Vanish, you'll take the left. Info will be on the right. Okay, go ahead, Vanish. Excellent. Info on the right. We'll see what Info uses. Vanish going for Marina, which is probably honestly the best character you can use against Marie. And obviously Vanish plays Marina. That wasn't just a counter pick. That's literally his main, as far as I understand it. Both players going for their main. We'll see what Info can cook up, though. Info has some interesting strategies with Marie that are a little bit unconventional. They might work to her advantage here. I mean, she already has Vanish limping. But Vanish is just not afraid. Vanish eventually goes for the cut. Unfortunately, those leg cuts do not have lethal power so much. They do make you limp every time they hit. But You gotta have some kind of follow-up that'll actually kill your opponent. Still, very smart from Info to go for the legs, using the reach of the weapon, then a stab to the belly, another stab to the belly. There's a nice cut to finish it off by Info. Grabbing is also an option against the shield. That is something Info's good at, as is pushing. It's just a little bit risky because Marie obviously tends to do better at range than up close, so it's probably best to make use of the reach of the weapon where possible. There's a leg cut again, but so close to the opponent, it's really not a good idea against any character. Goes for a thrust against the shield, does not land it. Blade beat, but then there's those leg cuts again. They don't kill, because that rapier is not a very good cutting weapon after all. There's a stab under the shield, nicely done, and then a leg cut finishing it off. And actually a relatively even fight, but I think Info is putting a lot more effort into these kills than Vanish is, so... Info doing a good job of using the reach of her weapon, and Vanish is not closing in as aggressively as maybe he should. Although sometimes that's literally just because he's limping, so it makes it very difficult. And there's a nice cut to the arm from Info. Beautiful cutting with the rapier. So I think Info is worried about the point being knocked offline. Yeah, like that. And then getting hit. So Info's going for cuts as well as thrusts to mix it up, which is working pretty well. And there's a grab from Info. That is what she is famous for. Grabbing is a very good idea against Marina if the opportunity presents itself. You don't want to overdo it, but in this case, Vanish is just walking forward into the grab, so very good from Info. Oh, but overextends. Vanish with a really good sidestep. Yeah, very good work of Marie's cuts indeed. Vanish doing some taunting, but Info threatening a cut to the head. What helps is Marina also has the lowest HP out of the whole cast as well, so these cuts all add up as far as stamina depletion and damage. There's a good stab under the shield, another stab under the shield. Good use of the point by Info, and that's really what Info needs to do, just to mix it up as much as possible, so just Vanish can't react effectively. There's a nice leg cut after hitting the shield with a normal downward cut. Going low to stab, backs away when Vanish tries to close in. Now he's limping. There's a shield bash, there's a hit to the head. Now it's down to the last flag. I think it does suit her weapons fairly well. You don't necessarily need to switch legs with a shield. There's different ways of moving, especially when you're with a small shield and saber. There's a stab, but gets parried. There's a shield bash, doesn't follow it up. Oh my goodness. Okay, Vanish deserved it, to be honest, as soon as that blade was beat, so... It's good that he got it in the end, but Info fought hard, so GG to both of you. That was a really intense one. And Vanish claims a victory. Now we got Ezekiel against Rodri. Yeah, I wonder which one specifically he picked, because there are different ways of doing it. I know there's like Indian, there's some Persian styles, North African styles. There might even be some Tartar or Cossack styles he's aware of that I'm not aware of. I don't know. I'd be curious to ask him about it, but I've seen different ways of using the shield, so. Anywho. I like the way she does it too, because it makes her fight like a boxer, sort of. The way she stands and bobs and weaves, it makes a lot of sense. But you can also do passing footwork as well. For sure. So Rodri is here, waiting for Ezekiel. Persian style Shamshir and Safar, so that's probably something to do. Yeah, fair enough. It's not wrong, it's just a different way of doing it, is the way I would frame it, but... Yeah, maybe. Okay, so we got Roderick here. We're waiting for Ezekiel. We can always move on if we need to. But I prefer to get Ezekiel in here. Good compromise, yeah. Okay, let's... Need to stip? Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Good thing I checked. Alright. Just let me know when you're back, Ezekiel, and we'll come back to you. Let's do Roderick against Vanish. Or, sorry, Oakenlicks versus Vanish, not Roderick. Oak is here, Vanish is here. Oak, you'll be on the left, Vanish, you'll be on the right. Okay, excellent. Vanish goes straight for Marina. Oak going straight for his main. Nice upcut from Oak, finding a good angle. Stopping Justvanish as he moves in. Nice feint from Vanish, but I think it's a provocation. It was a bit too far to achieve much, but it could have been a good provocation if Oak fell for it. There's a dash. It doesn't quite kill because the point didn't land perfectly, but it definitely did do some damage to Oak. There's a sidestep attempt trying to hit the arm. Vanish holding his ground. There's a hit, but Vanish doesn't seem to know about the sidestep combos, so Vanish didn't go for the second cut. There you go, Vanish went for it this time. Again, going for these side steps to hit the arm, it looks like Oak has to be careful in his approach as a result. Going for the upcut doesn't quite land. Trying to batter that defense down. Sidestep, and then backs away when Vanish attacks. Now going for a push. Nicely done from Oak. Sorry for the occasional coughing, by the way. I actually still have a bit of a cough from my cold. It's being very stubborn. I actually have a headache now, too. Although I don't know if that's actually related to the cold or not. Feels a bit more like a migraine, but I'm doing fine. It'll pass. It's not the worst I've had by any means. And that cut from Oak was done at too close of a range, so the hilt connected instead of the blade. Vanish with a nice kill. Good leg void from Vanish. And Oak is looking for an opportunity to close in. That was a good strike from Vanish, but Vanish needs to watch his stamina. And Oak is ready to pounce if he gets tired at any point. Oh, Oak aimed that strike directly at the shield, so unfortunately it didn't quite land. Going low, another leg void from Oak. Good dodges. A push attempt. Vanish moving back. So pushing is actually a good idea in that case if your opponent's passive and moving back. Vanish going with the wrong counter after the push. Oftentimes when people miss the attack after the push, it's because they're using the wrong cut from the wrong direction. And there's a nice double. A little bit of a taunt from Vanish. Oak is not quite able to punish. Not quite close enough to that look of it. There's the dash and stab there from Vanish. Oh, Vanish able to hit the arm. There's a dash, then a push actually. Oak was probably expecting the stab, not the push. And Vanish might well win this one. Going for long guard, tilting the shield to try and stop any incoming attacks. That's a very interesting stance that she has, actually. It might be a little underused. And there's a hit, but it doesn't quite land. Oak is able to secure a kill of his own. He's going to play solid here. He's determined not to lose. Another series of hits there from Vanish. Vanish needing one more to defeat Oak. Oak is a very tough opponent, so this would be quite an achievement. They both trade there. Oh, there's a leg cut. Oak's leg void was not enough. There's this. Oh my goodness. Went for the stab to finish it off, but Oak is able to keep his cool. Beautiful kill from Oak. Now Vanish really trying to get a clean sidestep to end this fight. But a hit to the hand keeps Oak in the game, and now it's anybody's. Anybody's game. Vanish looking for the kill shot, goes low, then goes high. Oak is able to use that retreat cut to keep himself safe. Retreat cut from Oak, almost getting punished. Oak going around the attack, gets punished, then Vanish takes it after that sidestep. Beautiful hit to the head. Intense finish to that fight, guys. Good job. Okay, is Ezekiel here? Doesn't look like it. Just let us know if you're here. We're gonna move on and then come back. Let's get luck in here. And I'll just ping Ezekiel while we're at it to see if he's here. Alright, Luck is here. Excellent. I'll take the left side. Luck will take the right. I'm actually gonna try Yawn here. I might regret it. Maybe to rub it in a little bit to Luck, because Luck's obviously convinced that Yawn is not the best, but yeah, we'll see how this turns out. Wow. That extra reach with Yon compared to Bara really helped there. And that down forward Y cut is so good off of the parry against her, it looks like. It's very good for shielding against many of those cuts. GG luck, that went way better than I thought it would. Isabella's supremacy is over, and Yon is still viable. Luck obviously prefers the corkscrew though, and the corkscrew was definitely nerfed. I think that's an objective fact. So Luck obviously prefers a different sort of play style, so that's why he's moved away from Yon. Still isn't good. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You definitely have to play him differently, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see more from Yon, I think, to make a definitive claim either way. But I do tend to prefer Bara as well, though, so I totally get that. But let's do Ezekiel against Roderick now. Fifth or sixth best Saber. What about... And then Titan asked about Laszlo. Well, I think Laszlo's pretty strong, too. That wraparound cut that he has too reminds me a lot of one of the cuts that Alexander has where he wraps around that same direction. So that's why I really like it. Ooh, that's a bold claim. I'd be curious to test that out actually. Definitely would be very curious to test that one out. How good Yon is compared to the rest of the Sabers. Okay, Roderick is here. It would have been cool if you picked Yon or Barabash. We could have had a Saber fight. But still, very good try of Isabella. Okay, Ezekiel on the left, Roderick on the right. I don't see how I was spamming one move. I was doing X cuts and Y cuts, but anyway. Changing up the angle here and there. Okay, Ezekiel on the left, yeah. Alright, go ahead, guys. Lithuanian Samurai. Wielding a Colt M1911 in his right hand, Wakizashi in his left hand. I've seen some crazy suggestions like that, believe it or not, on Steam. And then you ask them if they're trolling. Well, I don't ask them, but some people do. And then they're like, no, I'm not trolling. It's actually something they want, because some people seem to think this game is some Deadliest Warrior knockoff where you can just put whatever you want in and start the simulation or whatever. But anyway, that's Steam for you. Steam is just full of people like that. But it's also full of people who are sort of pushing back against it and are also assholes in their own right. So yeah, it's a toxic place no matter what your belief is. You're gonna find somebody who will get really mad at you. I sometimes look at what goes on over there. Kind of crazy. I'd say most of the crowd understands the game is not meant to be that, though. It's meant to be a historical game, so anyway. Anyway, it would be really funny, though, if a game did something like that, or if someone did a mod like that, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'm not... It's definitely a really funny idea. Is the Dusak a Saber? I mean, that's debatable. I have a meme on the Discord about that, because Russ did a documentary... Or not documentary, but a lecture about this topic. Like, what is a Saber? The history of the Saber. You can argue that Dusak is a type of Saber, but you can also argue a Dusak is more of a cutlass. So, or a messer type thing, so... As far as our tournaments, we consider the Dusak a saber, just because it plays similar to them, but it definitely is kind of different. It's more of a short chopping sword, but the problem is if Tarnovsky was his own weapon, we'd only have Tarnovsky tournaments, and I don't think they'd be very popular, so we consider it a saber, and it doesn't really hurt the balance in any way, so. But you can definitely argue the Dusak is its own thing. If there were more, like, short, choppy weapons, we could probably add a category in and of itself for those, but we don't have very many, so. I think his Dusak's about as long as Marina's saber anyway, so if Marina's sword is a saber, then, you know, you could totally argue that Dusak's also a saber. But that depends on how you classify it. Ezekiel, another stab. A katana is a saber according to the British, so Dusak's kind of saber. I guess it kind of is, yeah. Actually, Russ discussed this, and he said the katana and the tachi are both types of saber as well, which I do agree with. Especially from horseback, you would use them just like you would any other saber, so. And there are two-handed sabers in Europe, too. They were actually used since the early Middle Ages by steppe nomads, so. Absolutely, I think those swords are a type of saber. Although you use them a lot like a long sword as well. On foot. Anyway, we've spent so much time talking about Dusaks and sabers. I gotta give credit to Ezekiel here for using a very good Marta here. And actually, he wins quite handily. 7-1. Nicely done. Maybe Marta is the character he should stick with, or maybe it was a pick specifically for the matchup, which would also make sense. So, I guess we'll see. Info against Peka now. And after this one, I think we'll take a quick break. I just need some water and a coffee. I won't be long. It'll be like a 5-minute break after this round. And then we'll get right back into it. Okay, info on the left, Peka on the right. Info, by the way, we will take a break, but you should stay in because you'll be fighting Oak right after this fight. So just FYI. Let me make sure Peka has got keyboard yet. Ezekiel back to Marta indeed. Now who's Peka going to use? He's going to stick with Samuel, which is sensible. His Samuel has been very good this tournament. And Peka is on track to win if he keeps this up. And there's a nice hit to the head to start off. Info going for some leg cuts, and there's a delayed leg void as a result. But Peka eventually marches forward and hits the head. Info definitely needing to keep that distance, but Samuel is very good at stopping those thrusts with his fast cuts and his guard. And Peka is just playing a textbook Samuel right now, so it's going to be tough for Info. No matter how well she plays Marie, Marie is not in the best state right now. But there's a stab to the arm. Info definitely not looking to give up here. She actually did a very good job against Marina earlier. It was quite a sight to behold. considering the disadvantage that Marie has. Low guard by Info. Pekka almost taking the bait. Going for the leg cut again. Stabbing low, but Pekka lunges in and hits the head. Pekka again dashing in, but this time a cut to the dome from Info. Secures the kill. If Marie is able to hit the head, some of these cuts are actually very dangerous. And a good stab to the face by Info. And this is often what happens, actually. People underestimate Info a little bit, then Info comes in with these really good plays. And now Pekka has to be kind of careful. It's almost been evened up. There's the double lunge, nearly tagging the arm, but Samuel's guard is able to stay up. Going low again to strike at those openings. That thrust is high risk, high reward by Info. But it worked quite well against Marina earlier. Pekka looking for a chance to lunge in, but Info doing a very good job with this distance management. Then a stab to the arm. Now it's even. Oh, Info might have had a chance to punish that, but Info is doing a retreat cut. There's another cut from Info, but too close. From too close in, so Pekka has the advantage. Lunges forward, but gets a snap cut to the head as that attack has quite the wind-up. Pekka takes it, but Info put up quite a fight. So, props to Info for that. Alright, 7-5. Oh yes, Info probably left and then remembered she had to stay in for the next fight. That's okay. We're going to be taking a break anyway, so we're not going to be fighting right away. It will only be about 5 minutes, and then we'll get right back into it. So stay tuned. Next fight will be Info against Oak. And I am back. Looks like info is still here, so that's good. Might have stepped away though, so we'll obviously give our fighters some time. But if Oak is ready to go, I'll ping him and we can get started with that. Okay, info is still here. We'll give Oak some time. I'm probably here much much earlier than I said the break would be for, so we'll give Oak plenty of time to show up. It's not a big deal. Yeah. If I said 5 minute break, it only makes sense. Excellent, Oak is here. Okay, info will take the left again actually, and then Oak will take the right. One thing you might have noticed, by the way, is I disabled the slow motion doubles. I think the game looks better that way. It's just a visual thing where you don't see the game suddenly go into slow motion. I think it does have its charm, but sometimes the doubles look a little ridiculous when you see the really late ones in slow-mo. But in reality, as we've seen, the doubles happen, within a half a second, roughly, a bit less actually, is the window, so. They don't look as ridiculous this way, for sure. And the game's just a little bit faster. If there's any slow-mo going on, it's FPS shenanigans. Which I don't think we've seen a whole lot of, so that's good. Although, you might notice the FPS counter in the top left is showing like 330, 324 FPS, which is very strange. The game shouldn't be able to do that, but that's what Steam is showing me. So, I don't know what's up with that. But I haven't seen any of the weird slow-mo we were seeing earlier yesterday, so that's good. It created a lot of, those slow motion moments in a 300, the movie. It kind of reminded me of that. There are a lot of crazy, like, cinematic moments that we had. You could even cancel in the middle of the slow motion if you saw something was going wrong, so it's like you have heightened reaction time. Both of us experienced it. Both fighters experienced it because it was obviously something both players noticed, because it's not a connection thing, it's a thing with the game, so when it does happen. But thankfully we're not really seeing that here. It kind of ruins your flow when that happens, so not ideal. Even if it's something that both fighters will experience regardless of who's hosting, it's still messy. But anyway, as I say this, a lot of people tend to think Marie has a better chance against Laszlo, but Oak is definitely doing really well here. And I think Oak believes that you can cover for the weaknesses of Laszlo very well with his footwork and his long guard, so definitely putting that on full display. Near flawless, in fact, a flawless win now, as Oak defeats Info 7-0. Nice long guard stab. Okay, we got Luck against Ezekiel now, and then I'll fight Vanish. Okay, Luck is joining already. Excellent. We're going through this tourney pretty quickly, actually. I expect we'll be done within a reasonable period of time, despite the initial slow start, with people just coming in and showing up a bit late. Okay, Luck is here. Ezekiel might need to skip another one. Let me know, Ezekiel, if that's the case. I don't mind skipping again. We'll wait another 40, 30 seconds or so. And we'll come back to the fight if he's not here in time. And we'll see if Vanish is here in that case. Excellent, Ezekiel is here. We'll do that. And Ezekiel has keyboard, so we should be good to go. Luck will be on the left. Ezekiel will be on the right. Luck sticking with Isabella. And Ezekiel actually going with Martha because Martha went really well last time. Ezekiel is actually a very experienced Martha, so it's not super surprising that he switched to her all of a sudden when Samuel has not gone quite as well as he might have hoped. There's a sidestep from Ezekiel getting an early kill. Luck threatening long guard. There's a cut, lands, but also eats a stab in turn. Thrust attempt from Luck, backs away. Blade beat, gets stabbed a little bit, but it's not a very good hit. And Luck lands a good cut. There's the high guard cut. Luck going in for some more cuts. Ezekiel keeping distance, but that snap cut reaches the head. It's also very good for beating the rapier down. Luck ends up taking a stab of his own as he can't quite finish it. There's the high guard cut, but the linger is actually what hits, not the attack. And there's a panic retreat thrust, which manages to force the double. Some cuts out of measure from Luck, then dashes in. There's a roundhouse kick there from Ezekiel, and then some hits. Marta has done some Muay Thai, and apparently she's practiced it in a dress because she threw that kick so effortlessly. Oh, a cut to the face, and then another cut. Unfortunately, Muay Thai is not going to be enough to win this. Yeah, you gotta actually use your sword to win. And Marta sometimes struggles to get that initial kill. Although she is much better at it than she used to be. Bunch of stabs. Ezekiel knows what to do. Sewing machine. I think sidestep around the other side especially would be very good. Threatening a stab, then goes for high guard. That was actually a feint from Luck. Really nicely done, but he did eat a stab, and because of that, then a cut combination. Getting a good kill on Ezekiel. High guard from Luck, beating that blade down several times. Actually, weird lingering effects there going on, but Luck still deserved it, I think. Dashes in. Ezekiel trying to keep distance because he has the reach advantage and has to fight from range with the rapier. I think Ezekiel needs to do the X side steps from the other side. Those tend to hit a bit harder. Thrust to the head did not kill. Sidestep, nice kill, hitting the chest. Ezekiel at this point is going to be looking to win as many flags as he can. Even winning the fight at this point would be great, of course, but it's very difficult. It's by no means going to be easy. Luck of high guard managing to force the trade. And there's the snap cut, very fast cut. Luck definitely wants to finish it. Beating the blade, there's an incortada from Ezekiel, but doesn't land. Some cuts from Ezekiel, blade gets beat, and then the hand comes off. It bounces off Isabella after it's cut off, and then lands on the ground. And Luck takes it 7-2. Good effort from Ezekiel, but I think that's still a tough matchup. Isabella against Marta, that is. Now I get to fight Vanish. And I definitely gotta take him seriously. He did well against Oak, so gotta bring my A game. Vanish will be on the left, I'll be on the right. Yeah, that hand was funny. The way it was cut off. Okay, Vanish going with Marina. Let's see how this goes. Good luck. Alright, GG Vanish. Okay, Pekla against Roderick now. That went way better than I expected. So, yeah, that's good. Another 7-0 in this tournament. We've seen a fair few of these. Also, a lot of like 7-3 from Pekla, for example. Okay, Roderick is here. Pekla will take the left side, and Roderick will take the right side. Oh, did someone not get keyboard? That's possible. No, you both have keyboard. So go ahead, Pekla, you're on the left. Something's going on. Alright, let's just try again. Sometimes you need to back out and try again. Or maybe Pekla had to take a call. Oh, there we go. Pekla's in, it looks like. Rodrik's in. Excellent, excellent. Rodrik is going to go with Gideon, it looks like. He might have been thinking Samuel briefly, because we saw a little bit of hesitation, but he ended up going with Gideon, sticking with the character he's been playing the most lately in this tournament. Nice A-cut to start off from Rodrik. Another cut, sidestep, hitting the arm as Pekla starts something. He might have been trying to cancel or who knows what. Either way, oh, Rodrik nearly taking the handoff there. That would have been beautiful, but Pekla was just barely able to beat him to the punch. Ooh, Rodrik doing some canceling of his own, too. Oh, and hit to the head as Rodrik winds something up. Some cuts there from Pekla. Oh, and there's a kill for Pekla. Pekla Samuel has been impeccable. Oh, he actually... Okay, he took a hit. He took a hit, actually, it turns out. Looked like he was going to block, and we see Samuel's broken wrist there on full display. It's just an issue with the ragdolls or something. Rodrik has taken the hit, and it's definitely taken the toll on his HP and stamina. Now he's in the corner, but he's going to go for that sidestep. Beautiful from Rodrik. And Rodrik now gets the lead. Oh, he goes for a cut, but Pekla is able to frame trap him because Samuel is a little bit faster. That would have been dangerous if it landed, but Gideon's sometimes a little bit too slow. Now Rodrik's got to watch that stamina, especially after those dashes. He really needs to watch it. Goes for a long guard, then a push, hitting the arm. Beautiful from Rodrik. Rodrik looking to secure this victory here. He doesn't want to give a flag away. And actually, he takes a hit there, but Samuel's damage, not being the best, combined with Gideon's HP, manages to keep Rodrik in the game. And Rodrik gets a cut to the hand, taking the hand right off. Very good use of initiative after he had momentum on his side. 7-3. This time, Rodrik's the one who gets the 7-3, not Pekla. Beautiful performance of Gideon there. Okay, Ezekiel on the left and Vanish on the right. You two will be fighting next. Let me just ping you guys. Then I get to fight Info. Okay, Vanish is here, waiting for Ezekiel. Ezekiel is here, right on cue. Alright. Let me just make sure everyone's got a keyboard yet. Everyone who needs it. Ezekiel going with Marta, possibly? Yes, he's going with Marta. Might have hesitated a little bit seeing the pick his opponent was making, because the shield is a very good counter to the rapier, but we've seen some great things from Info, so I'm sure Ezekiel might be able to cook something up with Marta as well. stab attempted at the face, but it actually doesn't connect. It's beat just in time by Vanish. Thrust hitting the shield, beat from Vanish, but Ezekiel was able to disengage thanks to that other blow being out of measure. Justvanish going with that long guard, tilting the shield. A stab to the body from Ezekiel lands. Nice long guard of that stab that Vanish tried, but Vanish is able to close the distance and stay close. So Ezekiel ends up getting an unfavorable engagement there. Goes low but gets stabbed in the face. Nice from Ezekiel saving that flag, making it a double. Going for a cut to the shield. Another cut from the other side, but they're just at a measure. Possibly a bit of a provocation. Also a good tool to hit if the opponent tries closing in. There's a stab. Big cuts. And then a stab to the arm. But Vanish just charges in with that dashing stab, and it lands. Yeah, Vanish is obviously going to be looking for a chance to close in, and Ezekiel is going to be wanting to keep that range. Ezekiel with a nice sidestep getting around the shield before Justvanish could respond. You could cut to the body just under the shield. Looks like you can cut under the shield as well to land hits. That's something that I've been finding as well. Even if it's from the shield side, you can still dip under if the opponent's not ready for it. Going for a bunch of stabs. Why Ezekiel should have grabbed there, but oh my goodness, that was strange. But Ezekiel still getting the kill. And also Vanish probably should have pushed just like that. As Vanish had a similar idea after I mentioned the grab. Shield bash ended up working really well. A stab to the body. Ezekiel going for a series of stabs. Dashing in, pushing the arm aside, then a hit from Vanish. Vanish charges in, but eats a stab to the belly. And moving into that point, increased the damage. Often a risk of rapiers, moves into that stab again. The thing is, Vanish does need to close in at some point. A bunch of stabs from Ezekiel, eventually a kill is earned. Ezekiel ahead just barely, there's a nice trade. But that stab again, proving very effective. Ezekiel has to be careful. Again, testing the guard there, gets the blade beat a bit, but keeps distance, which is sensible from Ezekiel. Big cut. Goes low again, very good way of getting around the shield, it looks like. And Ezekiel is going to need one more to secure this win. Vanish is going to obviously be looking to not let that happen. There's a stab, trying to dip under the shield, but that sword barely blocks it. There's a nice A stab again, getting the body. Now Vanish's guard is down a little bit. There's a nice sidestep, though, having just enough stamina to unleash that attack, as Ezekiel overextended just slightly, and this is another really intense fight. Goes for the A thrust, but too close, I think. Ezekiel was way too close for that one, unfortunately. A cut would have been better if he ended up at that distance, or the retreat thrust, perhaps. Still, very good effort from Ezekiel, in what I think is a very bad matchup for Marta. Made for a really intense fight. Alright, now Info gets to fight me. Excellent. Info is here. I'll be on the left, info will be on the right. Alright, good luck, info. Alright, GG, info. Oak against Pekka now. Pekka is here. Alright, just gonna give you both a keyboard. You should be good to go. Parsec doing this weird refresh thing again, but it's still open, so it's not a catastrophic failure or anything. Alright, you both should have keyboard, and it looks like you're both still in Parsec, despite the visual bug, so let's get going. Pekka looking for the alternative skin this time, which I think is a bit better, but I do like the sort of bum Jesus aesthetic of the other Samuel too. This one is definitely, you know, more badass looking, and obviously it's based on the skin we see with the boss in the final phase. Both throwing some cuts, gets the hand off after Pekka gets an early flag of his own. Both of these fighters have been very sharp this tournament, so I'm really interested to see who will win this one. Pekka doing a lot of cancels. Eventually Oak calls him out on it. And that's really what Oak is going to be looking to do. Pekka is going to try and be as unpredictable as possible, most likely, whereas Oak is going to try and take advantage of that and punish any slight mistake Pekka might make. But Pekka being so unpredictable might make that difficult. And that was a really nice exchange, that flag, actually, but eventually Oak is able to find a kill. There's the retreat cut again, trying to snipe the hand, but then moves in and hits the head. Beautiful from Oak, and this is exactly the type of in-and-out game that Oak is very good at. There we go, Oak taking the hand off. Brutal by Oak, and Oak forcing the double as Pekka is able to get around and get a nice hit to the leg. Oak is able to still hit the head. That's the danger of going for the leg, is that you might leave yourself exposed. And after the exchange, that retreat Y is very good off of the parry, so Oak is able to get a nice punish. And Pekka back against the wall, and his hand comes right off. That is a 7-1 victory for Oak. Brutal win, but there were some contested exchanges there. Don't let the score fool you. I don't think it was as easy as Oak made it look. So, okay, we have Roderick against Luck now. It feels like it's been a very long time since Luck has fought. But Luck is finally up again. Unfortunately, that's the nature of round robin. Sometimes you end up on the short end of the stick as far as waiting. But once you're in, usually there's a fight that'll come sooner after that. Because the way it's scrambled is such that you won't be waiting that long every single time. So, and no matter what happens, you always get multiple fights. So that's the other nice thing about round robin. You fight everybody, and everybody gets a chance to show what they're made of, even if they have a relatively bad performance for whatever reason. As far as winning the tournament, still get a chance to get a nice victory against a skilled player or put on a good show. And so Luck is here. We're just waiting for Roderick. I saw Roderick in the chat, so he should be around. We'll give him a chance to join. That hurt to watch. Yeah, it was a pretty brutal win for sure. Oak is a demon with Laszlo. I keep saying that, but I stand by it. There we go. Roderick is here. Give you keyboard, and Roderick will take the left. Luck will take the right. And good luck. Roderick should have keyboard. Yep, excellent. Sometimes you gotta press multiple times or click on the window. Roderick going with Marina, which I think we've seen him play a few times. Some people regard her as a good pick against Isabella, although Luck has shown that he does pretty well in this matchup, so we'll see where this goes. Moves in for the cut. Luck trying to stay solid, goes for the push, and then the snap cut. That's a very brutal combination for Isabella in this matchup, because it's guaranteed hit against basically any character, especially Marina, actually, because both of the weapons get dropped down. And she doesn't have many attacks where she actually covers that specific opening with her shield manually, so it's very hard to recover and try and block it. And that's true for any character, really. Isabella's snap cut, used as a counter or used as a finishing move, is a very nasty attack. Luck testing the guard, almost hits the hand there. That was a good try. Ooh, he had a chance to grab or push there, but he probably didn't expect his opponent to get so close. And the thing is, you sometimes have to be wary of your opponent throwing an attack when that happens, because that can immediately counter a push or a grab attempt if they get into active phase. So it's kind of a tough situation sometimes to decide when to push, especially when Marina, I almost called her Marta, is throwing all these cuts. You definitely gotta find your timing. And again, that snap cut, as soon as Roderick makes the slightest of openings, that snap cut gets right through. Beautiful from Luck. Big cuts from Roderick, using the shield to keep Luck at bay. There's the high guard cut, which is also actually a good tool in this matchup, in my opinion. It's a very threatening move that covers a lot of range, and you can vary your speed by throwing some snap cuts in there too, so those are good tempo switch potential there. And a good way to counter a lot of Marina's attacks that may come in. Her damage is not the best, so you can get favorable trades that way. Even the regular wide cut that Luck did just there is a good option. At some point, Roderick needs to attack, and at some point, an attack will get through. You cannot turtle up with the shield. Roderick's not trying to do that, to be fair. He is trying to get offense going, to get some initiative, but Luck is doing a good job of blocking those incoming attacks. And good use of that push to switch legs. It's not how I would switch legs with Isabella. I tend to use an attack, but that's Luck's way of doing it, and it's a nice way of threatening a push in this particular matchup while you're doing it. So I think it's actually a really good idea if you time it just right. And there's the push and the snap cut again by Luck. 7-2 victory for Luck. Okay, and Roderick, you're still in actually. I think you left, but that's okay. It's instinct. But you're actually fighting again. You're fighting Vanish, it looks like, which will be interesting. And we're on the final round, believe it or not. So things are gonna get hectic as fighters try to get to the top spots. Okay, Vanish is here, waiting for Roderick. Excellent, Roderick is here, right on cue. Okay, Roderick, you are on the right this time, and Vanish, you'll take the left, of course. My head feels so much better thanks to the coffee. I swear it helps my migraines. I know people say you shouldn't drink coffee when you have a migraine because, you know, it gets your heart rate going and it messes things up, but for me it's like an elixir for headaches, so it works. It's probably a placebo effect. I won't necessarily recommend that you guys do it. It might have the opposite effect if you're not convinced that it works, but for me, it 100% works, so. But I hesitate to recommend it. It's not medical advice. Anyway. Roderick with 2 early kills with Gideon against Marina, which is a very interesting matchup, actually. I see that a lot, don't I? Interesting matchups. There's a lot of interesting matchups in this game. But I feel like Venator does that too. A lot of commentators in this server do that. We overuse the word interesting. But I find this one interesting in particular because they're both very close range fighters. But one doesn't have a shield, one does. One uses passing footwork and one doesn't, you know, so the dynamic between these two particular characters is interesting. And Gideon obviously is a harder hitter and has more HP, whereas Marina is a faster hitter with less HP, so there's also that going on. Nice exchange between these two. Marina getting tired. Little caffeine helps, but too much will cause your veins to contract, make it worse. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Everything in moderation, right? Nice chop to the head by Roderick. A lot of good plays against Marina this tournament, which goes to show that she's definitely quite beatable. to the shield. Rodri looking for that sidestep by the look of it. Dashing in, but Rodri with good footsies. Vanish cancels it, sensing that that dash might not go well. There's a good shield bash. Getting Vanish the kill. And then a stab from Rodri. Killing him. Yeah, it might not be fun to play or play against, but they can still be balanced. Good beat from Rodri. Countering that stab by the look of it is probably what Vanish was trying. And then finishes it up with a follow-up. I think Sword and Shield is a very fun weapon combination, personally. The fact that you have to fight it a bit differently adds to the fun. Anyway. I think she is. Just because you have to fight her differently doesn't mean she's unbalanced. It's like saying a shotgun is not balanced in a shooter versus an assault rifle or a sniper rifle. It's a very different weapon, and you gotta deal with it in a very different way, but it's not an unbalanced weapon at all. I mean, I just 7-0'd her, so... I think it's very possible. And I didn't use Alexander, I used Barabash, so I didn't use anybody who's really that questionable. Can't hit her unless she swings. I don't know about that. I've landed some pretty nice hits myself. But even if that were true, I mean, you have to swing at some point. You can't just stand there and not do anything, so... Anyway. Peka on the left, Luck on the right. Still shouldn't be a thing. Well, that's the thing, though. You can swing around the guard. You can do all sorts of things against her. Especially if you aim for the non-shielded side, or you aim your strikes between the shield. You can get around the guard pretty easily. And the shield actually means she has a reach disadvantage sometimes against many of the sabers. That's what I found with Barabash. I was able to just snipe at her guard constantly, and then sneak hits around the guard, and win the trades too. Whenever she goes in for a trade against Barabash, it just doesn't end well. So, she's definitely very beatable. And actually, Samuel, I think, has a better guard than Marina. Good B cut from Luck. Nice exchange between these two. This is a very intense one. Stab from Luck, high guard. Peka forced to retreat a little bit. As Luck's aggression is pretty relentless. There's a nice leg way to stab. Beat. Luck going for the stab. Doesn't land. Nice exchange. Sidestep attempt. And then, oh, Peka went for a dash in, but Luck looks like he got a cancel hit in or something. Or it might have been a snap cut. And there's a double. There's a thrust to the arm from Luck. There's a high guard cut from Luck. Nice sidestep from Peka, getting a kill on the board here, which he really needs. Gotta earn as many points as you can here. There's a kill from Luck. Luck is doing a good job of shutting down Peka's cancels. And now Luck suddenly needs one more to win it. And there we go, a hit to the head from Peka. Thrust attempt from Luck. Luck looking for an early kill to finish this. High guard cut. And again looking to snipe the hand. Nice exchange, going for the push, then a snap cut, and a parry from Pekka hitting the head. Nice riposte. Stab attempted. Beautiful from Pekka, setting that aside, beating the blade down, and getting a hit to the head. It didn't really look like a proper blade beat, but you heard the blade beat sound, so that is what happened. Just a weird physics glitch. But there definitely was a blade beat sound effect. There's a hit to the leg, which is going to be brutal for Pekka. Another hit from Luck. Pekla's HP must be really low at this point, as must his stamina. Luck is going to keep threatening the guard. Pekla going for cancels, but he has to be careful because of the stamina. The beat to the blade from Luck, and then a stab. Pekla's stamina, I think, finally gave way. And Luck wins it. It's about points, not wins. But obviously, if you win everything, then you win. But it's about points. Seven to 3. Pekla tried to make a nice comeback there and did a great job, but when an opponent that is skilled like Luck is ahead, it's very tough to make a comeback. And that's true if Pekla was ahead too. Pekla is a very good fighter in his own right, but for anybody at this level, it becomes really difficult when you have to make that comeback. It's not set on wins, no. Because you can see I have 7 to 0, 6 to 7, you know, stuff like that. 7 to 3. Yeah, we're doing score here, not wins. We can look at the settings anyway, but that's what I had it set to, so. Okay, info is here. Wins is listed as primary. Where are you seeing that? Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Let's just switch that, because we can do that. It's not a problem. All right, excellent. We have it set properly now. Thank you, Venator, for mentioning that. I assumed it was on I assumed I switched that in the settings, but I guess I didn't, so I won't argue with what Chalon says. And we have info here, but we're just waiting for Ezekiel. Just checking in with Ezekiel. Okay, Ezekiel's taking a little bit to join, so let's actually switch to what was going to be the final, and that's going to be me against Oak. Just killed Radon in Elden Ring. Yeah, you probably need a break after that. That's a tough one. I really enjoy that fight, though, to be honest. I like the different phases. I think it was very imaginative. But yeah, if you're going into that fight under leveled, uh, it's definitely tough, like Luck is saying. And you gotta learn how to dodge the arrows at first too. That's really the big thing. in the early phase. Then there's the meteor that surprises you after you whittle them down some. Definitely a lot of things to think about. I did it on horseback actually, so it was a really cinematic fight for me. Anyway, Oak is here, so let's get started with that. Oak will take the left, I'll take the right. Okay. Gonna try Jan, because honestly, Jan has been doing really well for me against Laszlo, so. Jan and Barabash, those are the two I've been using this whole time. We'll see how this goes. Oh no. I thought I lined that up perfectly, but I didn't. Good fight, Oak. Yeah, I was trying. The corkscrew is the only thing that was working towards the end. Beautifully fought there, Oak. Maybe I should have used Barabash in hindsight. Barabash is not a bad pick. I was just wanting the reach with Jan, but tough to say. It was kind of a close one. Oak just plays so well. I almost gave myself the win. No, it was actually Oak's win. But yeah, maybe Barbash would have been slightly better. It's hard to say. But the thing is, Oak plays so well that it's really tough to say what pick is best because Oak can fight anybody at any time and put on a good show. So still figuring it out, of course, but I'll definitely try Barbash maybe next time. We'll see how that goes whenever we fight. Jedi Fallen Order, yeah, I've played that. Also Jedi Survivor. Both of those are very good games. Highly recommend. Alright, Info and Ezekiel. This will be the final fight. Info will take the left, Ezekiel will be on the right. Alright, let's go. Info on the left, Ezekiel on the right. Going with Marta against Marie. We're ending with a rapier duel. An honorable rapier duel. Let's see how this goes. Marta against Marie. There's a stab to the arm from Info. Nice exchange of stabs there from both. Good parry from Ezekiel, but can't quite get the riposte off to land and punish. Nice exchange. Info dashing in, and that's often the trap she runs into. She likes fighting in the pocket sometimes, and it's just not the best way to use the rapier. Sometimes it allows her to land some really cool grabs, so I think it's something she shouldn't completely dismiss exactly, but I think she needs to stick more with fundamentals. Much like what she just did there and got the flag. Especially in this matchup, Marie's ability to shoot in and out, I think, is really her advantage. When it gets messy, I think Marta tends to come out on top. With the vulgar Destreza especially, that I like doing. Ezekiel, interestingly, likes sidestepping to the right. I tend to sidestep to the left. Well, actually, I say that. He did the sidestep A. I'm thinking sidestep X as well, though. But the sidestep A is a very higher... It's a higher recovery variation where you go lower, but it was very good against the shield. It's definitely a good option as well. Just not what I do, typically. Then he dashes in for that stab. Lunging forward. No kill for Info, though. Testing the guard a little. Some cuts from Ezekiel allowing him to beat the blade. Good cut from Info, but no kill. Moves in. I think Ezekiel was lagging briefly. That was really strange. And a lunge forward from Ezekiel. Oh, That was the triangle, and Ezekiel actually delayed the punish, but eventually got it. Probably didn't expect a sudden triangle. The triangle is a very high risk move. It's a very good punishing move, don't get me wrong. It's just, by its very nature, you're putting yourself at risk. And there's a double right there. Ezekiel actually only slightly hit, but that's all Marta needs sometimes to get a nice kill. There's the triangle, doesn't hit. Goes for the lunge, gets stabbed in the body though. Okay, they're both trying to find a good position to attack. Waiting for an opportunity. Some cuts from Ezekiel to try and provoke or test the guard a little bit. Big cut from Ezekiel, but he covers the line of the thrust that Info used. Stab attempt at the arm, but doesn't land. Rushes forward, Ezekiel getting the grab. Info getting a taste of her own medicine right there. Breaking up the stalemate with a nice Russian grab. Info possibly looking for the same thing, and there's the infinite stun from Marta, the vulgar Destreza. This time done with a different thrust though. This is not usually the way I do it, but it worked just as well. That was nasty from Ezekiel. Oh my goodness. And Ezekiel takes it. That's the end of the tournament. And I believe that was 7-4. I wasn't paying much attention to the flags because I was watching Ezekiel just stab the shit out of Info. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. 7-4. And that's the tournament. And let's see who won. We're going to end it. I think I saw Oak won. Yes, Oak actually won despite having less wins. So let's have a look at the standings. They'll probably tell us why. Yeah, so Luck actually, you were just a little bit behind in points, and that's the key here. The winning condition was points. Oak managed to get one more point than I did, so Oak actually won the round robin, not me. And I think that early loss I got against Pekka was really what did it. It was a pretty nasty loss, 7-3 in favor of Pekka, and that's what kept me from winning. If I had just won one more flag, I'd actually be ahead because of the points difference. So well done. That's the twist that you can get with the points, of course. So I might have more wins. Actually, Luck has more wins. Fun fact, 6-1. But so Luck did amazing this tournament too. But because wins is not the winning criteria, Luck is in third place. I actually won it, but I'm second place. I don't see how I won it because he got the tiebreak. What? I'm not quite sure how I won though because he has the points. Wait, 43-43. What? What is happening? Secondary criteria should have been points difference. Isn't that the secondary criteria? I'll check the settings, but that's what I set it as, so. Yeah, secondary tiebreak, points difference. Oh, hang on. Tied participants. Why is that set? Hang on. What the hell is happening? I swear I set it to where the points difference was here. I don't know why that changed. I can't change it though for some reason. Uh, so I won it apparently. I don't know. That's not what. That's bizarre. Anywho, I'll sort this out off stream. I won't keep you guys any longer. We'll figure it out. GG's guys, it was a great tournament, and I'll see you next time. So it looks like I possibly won, but it's hard to say. Either me or Oak. Either way, you all did amazing. Anybody who made it to the top 3 did amazing. It was literally by a hair whoever won. So anyway, I'll see you next time.